Welcome to the Altcoin Hour, your weekly alpha. Yeah, we breaking down the charts, flipping bags, playing smart. From the dips to the moon shots, connecting all the dots. Let's get it. Altcoin Hour.
All right. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing very well. And another hand clap to my guest as well. What's up, Benji? Welcome to the show, guys. So we had a little late start. Technical issues like always. Nothing ever, goes as planned. But we're here, and I have my actual friend here, Alexi. And Alexi, I want to introduce you. And actually, we're going to talk about Retium. We're going to talk about this beautiful layer 1 custom build, right? From the ground up. But first, welcome to the show, brother. Welcome to the show.
It's great to be here, Michael. Thank you.
Man, this is a long time coming. You've been working and sweating, fingertips are bruised up, from all that coding and just, this is not an easy situation, building things from the ground up. And a lot of people, the layman, people who just use these blockchains and use these ecosystems. It's a different perspective when you're building and when you're testing, going from, in-house testing from private to public. There's a lot of work that's going on before you get to that, before you bridge that gap. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. First of all, Alexi, who are you, man? Yeah, you want to tell the people who you are, and we'll get into Retium as well. But introduce yourself, brother.
Well, my name is Alexi. Hi, everyone. I'm a founder of Retium blockchain. I came from, I guess, I don't really want to jump too much where I came from, but I came from a different sides of the business part. The one is IT business, and the other one is a construction as well. So I've been in the business for quite some time now, but over the last year, the journey really been put in developing Retium and building the whole ecosystem to it as well. It's been quite a journey, and right now we are here talking about Retium and explaining it to the people what it is, how it's work, and how it's built.
Man, we're going to get into some deep questioning too as well. We're going to get into it, but I want to pull this site up too, because there's a working site. You have an X page too as well. And let's go ahead and get into this because I want to pull this up. I don't know if you could see this. Boom. So we're here. This is the homepage. Yeah. It's going to be, let's get this up, retium.org. And it's very simple. It's not a lot of different letters and shit you have to put into the actual URL. It's retium.org. This is the mother site. Now, this is something you've been working on for a long time, right? This is not something that you just kind of glued together, because we see a lot of that in the space. A lot of people are gluing up tech, copying and pasting. This is something that you put a lot of thought into. As we're looking at the page, tell me a little bit about, because the layout is beautiful, right? You do have, I love dark mode. A lot of people don't really, get into that, but I'm a big fan of that option. So you can go dark mode, which is great for me. Tell me about the layout of the page, because you put a lot into it. It's not just a basic page. You got a lot of information on here about the technology, about the coin, core utilities. You even have an FAQ. You put a lot into the page. Tell me a little bit about this layout and what you were trying to actually get across to people who are going to go and do the research.
Yeah, absolutely. So the way we've designed the website, the current website is really, so we try to put some information for public to understand what Retium is, but on the same hand, on another hand, we tried sort of not to disclose too many information as well, because as you mentioned, we're building Retium from a ground up, and it's a completely its own technology. We're not copying anyone, and we don't really want, or we don't really ready to release the full information for the public at this stage as yet. So, but I mean, as you can see on our website, we basically try to outline what Retium is. what it's going to bring to the public, some utilities and the use cases, and yeah, just basic information you need to know at this stage, and basically get ready for big updates to come.
Yeah, it's it's a nice balance. There's a lot of tech, lingo as well, but then there's some easy to understand, language and lingo as well. So I think it's a good balance. That you have here. The actual name, I want to get into this. I'm sorry, a little tongue tied. I want to get into this before we get into the Q&A, because we're going to get knee deep into the tech and why you're building it, the solutions you're providing, and then the build itself, it's fresh, right? So Retium, the ret part, which is Latin, it says it means net mesh network, reflecting Retium's architecture, where blocks are not chained linearly, but interwoven like a mathematical mesh. This is pretty cool. So that's just the first section of the name. So you want to go into that, because there is meaning, to the actual name of the chain.
Yes. Yeah, the Retium name itself, as you just mentioned, it came from a Latin retio, which is meaning basically a net or mesh. And the way the blockchain is built is we build Retium using prime number logic architecture, and this is a key point of why we were different. So the structure itself, if you compare the current or traditional blockchains, the most of them are built as a linear blockchain, as a linear chain, if you wanted to. And when you look on the Retium architecture, it really comes to, if you imagine a 3D mesh structure, where every block is interconnected with each other using prime number linking architecture. So this is a whole different in the structure. And obviously, when we thought about the name, the name should kind of outlined what it is and how it's built. And the Retium, I think it was a perfect idea to create a name itself as well. So Reti plus Retium, it's become a perfect name, I think.
No, absolutely. Built on math and logic. I love the concept. And there's a lot of, it's a crowded field, obviously. But as I always say, if you are building something new in this space, you better have some differentials. You got to stand out, right? Because it's a crowded L1 field. So I think you're achieving that. Let's get into the actual build, because this is what I like. Let's go ahead and start the big picture. Okay, so what inspired you personally to build Retium is what we want to get into from the ground up. You could have easily copied and pasted and glued, some Frankenstein, shit together. What actual problem in today's blockchain world actually kept you up all night and actually had, and just got up and said, hey, I need to make a difference here. I need to build something that's a little bit different, a little bit faster. What made you do this? Because you could have easily forked something.
Yeah, absolutely. And just before we start even think about Retium, there was a lot of discussion about the current blockchains. We've been in the crypto for quite some time. And when I was thinking about what the Retium is and not what the Retium is, but what can we do better for blockchain industry itself, the whole idea was to deliver something different and much more sustainable, I guess, in a performance way, because we all know what the pain that some blockchain can bring, especially in a bull run or high market traffic. The high gas fees, blockage, stops, etc. And when we decided to build Retium from a ground up, we really thought about, because if you copy something, that you're gonna bring the same problems what current blockchains already have. So you're not really gonna improve anything structurally or architecturally. And like I said, the most blockchains are built as a single execution path as of today. And to be able to deliver something different and more scalable, we had to think about to create a completely different structure or approach to the blockchain itself. And I've been asked this question quite a few times. I mean, whether we can call ourselves a blockchain at all, but I mean, realistically, we are more a mesh or network as such with the blocks, but we're still a blockchain. So the idea was to deliver something different and which is gonna extend the industry to the next level. And I think we found a solution for it.
All right, so there was some thought, right? It's just something that you're not just trying to put something out there and and kind of crowd the field even more, because this is what I see. And I'm not trying to be too judgmental, but we got a lot of blockchains that are coming out, and a lot of them are just they're not really making a difference, right? They don't look any different than the other ones. And then there's some that are different, and I think that's a small field. And I think being in that field of differentials, I think you're gonna shine. So, and then you're building in an atmosphere to where you have an actual language being written to as well. Acceptance, more exposure is going to be the outcome of that when it comes to this regulation. That we're the age of regulation, the golden age of regulation. This is where we're at. So I think as a builder, you got an advantage right now, wouldn't you say? Because you're getting a lot of clarity that's going to be coming up in the next 2 years. So you'll be able to build properly, especially if you're, implanting DeFi into your ecosystem. So what's your take on that? I feel like it's an advantage to be a builder right now.
Well, I mean, it is an advantage, and but on the other hand, I guess the time is always difficult.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, with the clarity and the regulations coming up, I mean, you definitely wanted to deliver something that you're gonna be, sure that it works and it perform, because you just not to have to deliver the technology to market, but you have to also make it compliant with the current regulations. And this was one of the points as well, which we took down the track when we start building Retium. So, absolutely, I mean, I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, I think it is, man. You got a lot of, you know where to go. You know how to move, right? There used to be pitfalls. And for people who already have built technology, let's say 5 or 6 years old, they may have to, pop the hood and do some adjustments now, post-regulation. Because of you know what I'm saying? So, it's not a bad thing. A lot of people do need to upgrade, but I think as a builder now, you got an advantage, slight advantage. So for the listeners, let's get to this one, who are pretty much new to Retium. How would you describe the elevator pitch when it comes to the Retium in simple terms? What makes this particular build the next, stage upward? How would that elevator pitch come from you? And I'm talking about, you're speaking to laymen. Say you're on stage and you're talking to people who really don't know or understand the tech, but they're interested. What would be your elevator pitch right
now? Well, I guess I probably will have to start again with explaining what the current blockchains are and what limitations they have. And as of today, as we know, there are many great blockchains available on the market. They're all doing their part, and they're all designed for what they've been designed for. But if you look much deeper to the current blockchain industry, you'll find that everything was built so far has limitations, and most of the time these limitations are being all the same, and it comes to scalability and the single state of execution.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Retium and understand the new technology, what we're trying to bring on the market is we're trying to bring a better scalable, faster and cheaper in the instance solution for the blockchain industry. So we've developed something that will be performed in a year's time due to the structure with its architecture itself. And we're trying to break the traditional industry understanding to something new stage of evolution of the blockchain industry.
Yeah.
I guess this is what we're trying to achieve here.
Okay. Your architecture. Let's go and get into the build. Role-based validator, mesh, proof of math, consensus, which I think is pretty cool. Walk us through the actual, in plain English, obviously, if you can dumb this down, not too much, but how does it separate itself in the mesh? We're talking computations, finality, storage role, all that good stuff that comes in, especially finality, because that's a big thing going up, especially when it comes to payments and things of that nature. Walk us through this architecture, bro, because proof of math, the consensus is going to be, essentially that. It's a little bit different. Role-based validator mesh. This is a different infrastructure, bro, that I'm used to seeing, because I've been comparing this to a lot of other chains. It's quite different. Can you walk us through this?
Absolutely, yes, it is. And once again, when they thought about, and this is kind of leads to or links to the questions, why we build something from a ground up rather than being copied to someone. Because right now, basically what we know on the market, there are really a couple of consensus mechanisms available, whether it's a proof of work or proof of stake. And but both of them kind of sharing the same idea, where basically validator have to compete to the next block. I mean, whether it's a bigger stake or whether it's a bigger computer you have, or you're computing more power just to be the first in a line, just to win that block. We've came across or we've separated this idea, and because Retium itself is built on a mathematic and the logic as well linked to it, we've decided to move consensus to different idea, and we called it a proof of math, where validators in Retium, they do not compete to create a next block. The blocks are being pre-built or pre-computed by validators upfront, so they don't have to figure it out what's the next block is going to be. And we could achieve it because we have a 3D dimensional architecture where many blocks are available in a space and can be used anytime you really want it or need them to. Yeah. So all validators have to do is they have to verify that this block is a real one, if it exists, and if it can be used and can be finalized. Yeah. So the consensus mechanism is separate for this stuff, but as to explain you how the Retium life cycle or transaction life cycle lives on the Retium, probably would have to start with so when the transaction is coming on a Retium. Well, once again, we probably separated. Probably have to explain that we separated the transaction finality and the block finality from each other as well. So this is one of the key points which we did by designing Retium, and because there is nothing stop us to do that. We have many states where we can put transactions into. So the transactions coming on a Retium chain is being handled by assigned validator role, and it's been handled before the block finality itself. So basically, transactions coming on a chain has been validated by one validator roles has been handled, placed in an existing block, and when the block has become full, it's being basically finality by the other part of our validators. So to explain it more clearly, we have 3 different roles of validators, and this is the key difference as well. We have so-called workers, we have keepers, and the suits, and all of them have these specific roles or job titles which they have to look after. So the workers are handling transactions, the suits are handling blocks, and the keepers are basically they mathematicians, so they're computing the Retium chain itself. And they're doing it up front because with the prime numbers
so
and the
these
logic.
I want to jump in here because these are independent roles, right? I don't mean to, I hated to get you in mid thought, but because this is interesting, these are all independent roles, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are all independent roles. Yes, that's correct. And this is was designed for a reason, because like if you compare it with something what's existing right now, so there is always one role. So the transactions come in, validator is handling transactions, putting in a block, and then it's have to basically sit there and wait until the block is full, validate it, finish it, move to the next one. So we've tried to separate it and make it different because we're trying to make every role to deal only with its own task and responsibility, to make it more lighter, more faster, and I guess more secure as well. So every role is responsible for their own task on a specific time frame, and this makes Retium once again faster, more secure, and much more scalable as it is.
No, absolutely. It's very unique, very different. So this is one thing that stands out to me: the complete absence of a shared global meme pool and the 3D, transaction mesh. You want to talk about that because, for one, and I want to send this to you. How does that change the developer and user experience compared to chains like Solana?
Yes,
and we can put the new ones into the new parallel execution L1s too. We won't name any names, but you have some new ones with the parallel execution as well. But yes, particularly Solana, because that's the chief right now.
Yes. So I'm not really sure how much it's make life easier for developers, but for general user who using Retium blockchain daily, it definitely makes huge difference. And as you said, we in a Retium, we don't really have meme pools at all. And this has only been possible, once again, with our unique architecture. So when transactions coming, so probably we have to explain to people what's a meme pools and why they exist. And they exist because, so if you take any chain, or most of the chains, when transactions coming on a chain, they're basically being sitting in the meme pools, waiting for the turn. So they're basically entering the queue, waiting for the block to be available for them to go into the block and being handled and being finality. And this creates this waiting room in sense. So when the transaction sitting in that waiting room, everybody can see what these transactions are, what they're gonna to do, how much money they're gonna spend, and what they're gonna buy. And this is how you came across with the things like MEF bots. Right, because they can see it, so they can track you. Even though we're talking about milliseconds, it's enough for any MEF bot just to pick it up.
That's plenty of time. You're right.
With the Retium, because as I explained earlier, because we have so many blocks available to accommodate any transactions in real time, we don't need a meme pool. So transactions coming on a chain and has been directly transferred to open block. So it doesn't really need a meme pool because we don't have a queue. So every time transactions coming in, it's been put in an empty block and being handled by workers on the way into the block. So basically when it comes to arriving to the block, it's already been finality transactions. So there is no meme pools which can intercept it and basically just sandwich you. This is one of the great privilege, I guess, of the Retium design, where user experience become clean, predictable, and safe as well. So regarding developers, answering the second part of the questions, I don't think it's applicable, but we will talk about probably developers a little bit later on.
No, absolutely. So we're definitely going to move to this now. I'll share this tab here because we're going to get into the RAI situation here. And this is recent. You announced this, recently. You want to talk about this because This is artificial intelligence as a parallel project, essentially, is what is pitched. Very fascinating. Can you share what RAI is? It's in the short for Retium Artificial Intelligence.
Yes.
Can you share to us what that is and how you plan to kind of implement this in an internal brain, essentially?
Yeah, we actually call it Ray.
It's Ray.
Simple as
Okay.
it is.
Nice.
Yes, Ray. So from day one, when we started working on Retium, we left this socket for artificial intelligence because you have to be silly these days just avoid it and just leave it apart. I mean, the AI has become really everybody daily use as of today. So, but right now, when we put this public post online, what we've designed is actually what we actually built and integrated is we integrated Array directly into Retium code base. So, and the only function of Ray is right now is just to basically help us to work on the Retium, and so it can track lifetime performance, it can analyze code, it can find the bugs, basically help developers to work with the code in easy way. So it's become sort of a supervisor if you wanted to, which can and understand the code from A to Z. It is, yes. And this is a main purpose of Ray. So the first of all, it's going to be helping developers to with their everyday task, just to find the bugs and try the decoding and the bugs. And secondly, we wanted to have Ray as the blockchain is going to be released for production. We want to have Ray as an external supervisor for the real-time performance. So it's going to be basically the layer of security, which is going to be tracking malicious validators, malicious performance, spammers on the blockchain, and the things like it. So I'm not really sure whether we're going to put them and give it direct rights to to execute or stop those transactions or actions on the blockchains as yet, but in the future, definitely yes. So right now, it's only can report and flag the things like it, but in the future, it's definitely going to be something that's going to be a link to security and public use as such. So the Ray eventually is going to be a layer of architectural intelligence on a blockchain itself.
We were, what was it, like 3 years ago, we was talking about this, about AI integration, and AI is an actual, a governance layer too as well. And it's happening, decentralized AI layer is what you're basically leaning towards. This is what I'm seeing. This is coming, man. This is coming really fast too, because I've always wondered how AI could actually be implemented, and not just third party, not just an assistant, but an actual governance tool, an autonomous governance tool. What do you think about that? Because a lot of people are scared of that, turning this type of technology loose. And you mentioned possibly being able to govern transactions, kind of a watchdog effect, autonomous watchdog. What's your take on that? Because we're talking about unleashing it and actually the AI actually running the chain. I don't know if that is scary to you, but are we there yet? Or is it just mainly an assistant, like you're saying, a dev assistant, something that they can call on for assistance?
Well, 2 years or what? It's now about 3 years when the AI just came to market. Like when OpenAI came up and they started the ChatGPT, everybody was skeptical about it.
Right.
But a few months later, we saw so many jobs being replaced, like copywriters, for example, just from our industry. We saw the copywriting was basically replaced with AI technology itself. And now, three years or whatever later, we're seeing AI has become like literally everyday use for whatever, you just name it. Some people doing trading. Some people just doing article boards, etc. Some people even do, the images itself. In a very short period of time, I believe AI can be used for things like governments or security checks, or even just supervise the blockchains by itself on its own. And once again, when it comes to our case, the advantage of it is we training Cray to understand Retium itself rather than understand the world around it. So it's not really designed right now to be the best AI for public, but it's designed to be a perfect AI understanding the Retium code and how the validators works and the real-time Retium performance as well.
So it's a dedicated layer. It's
a dedicated. Yes, it's a dedicated. It's not just dedicated layer of AI, but it's its own built AI structured AI itself for the Retium. So it's been trained, learned on the Retium code itself.
That's great.
And
so no third party stuff here.
And this is why, just answering your question, can we trust it or not? Well, I think we can, or I think we will in a short period of time, because AI is, I guess it comes to the nature of humans. We wanted to have something to, not just to replace our daily tasks. I don't want to say that, but I guess human have this nature to become to be a little bit of lazy. If we can cheat, if we can cut the corners, I mean, we definitely will, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just
rather than you being
sitting there.
Yeah.
Yes. So
that's the bad thing about it. But go ahead. I'm sorry. You're right. You're so right about that.
But on the other hand, the AI is more biased than the humans. It can really execute a task, and as a human, you're going to be hesitating whether this client is right, whether this user on the blockchain is doing the right thing or not. So just look in the code and see the actions. And it's not just can be fast, but it's also can be, very strict and very, straightforward to what's need to be done and when it's need to be done.
No,
so
absolutely.
I think any human decisions will definitely lose, compared to AI execution. And I think this is a big advantage.
It is. I don't think it's that negative, but it's very new and a lot of people are still scared of it, But when it comes to this tech, I think it's a good fit, especially for blockchain, especially for, I think it's good for governance too, but I don't think, we're far from that because of that fear factor.
But not just that. Just imagine, having a blockchain where, so right now you have to be a dev just to create a script, to create a smart contract and things like it, so you have to understand the code. But imagine if you're having AI, which understand the blockchain itself from basically A to Z, as I said, and you just come in and you have no experience with the coding, etc. And you're asking, Ray, can you just create me this smart contract and help me to deploy it on a Retium blockchain? And it can do it for you just in a few seconds.
That's a great example of the advantage. Great example. And like you said, it's already geared for, Retium, so it's going to do it pretty quick. Just a couple of prompts and you're set, ready to go. Your DApp is ready to go, barring anything. And then you say there's some error protection, error correction assistance too as well, just in case the code gets a little weird or something happens. You can use Ray to expedite the repairs, to get things back online. I like it. I like it, man. I love it. This is pretty interesting. So as talk about a private production network phases, we're about to get into the actual, good stuff here. So as of right now, you're in private production network phase. What have you learned so far when it comes to real world testing? If, and I don't know if you're there yet, but if you are, we'd love to understand and the information that you're gathering, the feedback or whatever, system wise, what are you most excited about, when it comes to building up to the public testnet as well? You want to go into that?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I mean we've been running Retium for on a private testnet for quite some time now, but it's not, it hasn't been really private anymore. I mean we did
Yeah.
have a few contributors came in and they help us to do tests and the runtimes. Uh, with a private testnet, we definitely found quite few things to improve, to adjust, and make things better. The public opinion was very great as well, because we did share some, not just the screenshots, but like I said, that we had a few contributors who came in and said, "Oh, we don't like that. Can we just do it better and maybe change it?" But the whole idea for Retium is we not just trying to make it a different level of technically and architecturally, but we wanted to make it very user friendly and easy for normal, just normies to use it. Because
That's very important too.
most of the blockchains, what I found is you really must have this, pitch of to be a tech person, especially to deploy the smart contracts and the things like it. And even if you just try to find some data, it's becoming a little bit too difficult. And this is not mentioning just to become a validator itself. For most of the blockchains, it's becoming like rocket science to start a node and start to mining. So with us, when we was running and tests and trying to things and testing them, we came across to this idea that everything has to be very simple and accessible for normal people to use a blockchain. It starts from simple, just how to use the wallet, how to become validator, how to read the blockchain, how to find the data, etc., etc., etc. So we're trying to make it very, very simple for user experience, because one of the main importance of it is we need more adoption and we need more normal people to come on the blockchain and start using it, and it had to be super easy.
No, I totally agree. Simplicity is very key, because you do have people that are going to come in and they're going to want to pop the hood. They're going to want to know, because I've been like this all my life. I like to know how things work. I'm very interested in tech. I'm very interested in, hardware things, but I want to know how it works. It's fascinating. You're going to have people that are going to want to do that, and they're going to want to use the product that's going to be developed as well in the foundation. So making that simple is crazy important to me. Go ahead, brother.
No. I mean, I do agree with you, and simplicity is a key to adoption, and this is all about. There is no rocket science. I mean, if you're using Mac or Apple, I mean, this is something that you take in the hands, and if you never used it, you just go and click few buttons, and you understand how the things works. So that is sort of the same idea we wanted to integrate with the Retium, just to make it very simple. So you click a few buttons, you understand how it works. You don't need to go and understand the technical side. But saying that, if you're a technical person, if you're a dev, if you understand the different code, and if you want to do it through the code, through the CDK, if you want to run it through the web application, I mean, it's all available for you. I mean, you can do and go as complicated as you want it to. But
speaking of simplicity,
we need the normal people for blockchain.
No, you're right. That's a great way to increase, any type of adoption of any type of tech. Make it simple, man. And let's talk about that a little bit more when it comes to validators. You're trying to create this wizard style DApp, and this is going to be a bridge to make it so easy for people to cross over into validation. You want to explain that, why that approach is important? Because, with this type of consensus, I mean, validators are very important. So the more, the better, the more quality, because you want high quality validation too as well. I'm sure you agree with me on that. Making it super easy, presenting this particular DApp, wizard style DApp for non-technical people, very easy bridge to cross. This is important. You want to explain that, because I think this is left when you look at a lot of the validator clients out there, and especially, I talked to people who were using that early, Solana one. They didn't like it very much. And I talked to a lot of validators. It can be pretty techy, right? So you're introducing a wizard style DApp that's going to make this super easy when it comes to validation or becoming a validator. Let's talk about that, because that goes along with the simplicity factor. We're talking back end simplicity when it comes to validator plugging in, and grinding out, supporting the network.
Yes. I mean, obviously, validators are important for any blockchain. The more validators you have, the more secure your blockchain is. The more power of running the secure blockchain is available for you. And this is what we try to bring in. So as we already discussed, we do have 3 different roles of validators, and everyone is responsible for their own tasks. But it's not just that, the validators comes in a different, in Retium we've designed the validators having, so we wanted to have them not just simple, but quite affordable as well.
Yeah.
And this is the other side of the coin. So when it comes to set up a validators, as you said, that in a technical way, it sometimes has become really impossible. So with us, we're not trying to build this app. We do have this app already available, and it's been running great.
Oh, so this is ready to go.
For quite quite some time. And what it is, it's basically you downloading. Depends what you're using. If you're using repository, you just go there and you're just downloading it through the GitHub, for example, or you can download it as a zip copy, unzip it on your PC, and depends on your role. Like, for example, let's talk about a worker. So if you decide to become a worker, you just unzip this app, click a few buttons, the installation wizards come up, just click just instructions next, and they fill the data, like your wallet address. All you need to have a wallet and the staked amount of Retium into it, and you're just putting this data into the app. Click a few buttons, start your node, and here we go. You're running it on your computer, or your laptop, or your in the near future is going to be available on your tablets and the phones as well.
Yeah.
So that's a very super easy, literally 5 clicks to get it started, and you just running and the mining same time.
Yeah,
yes.
That's not bad at all. Hey, there is. The mining part. We might need to get into that, because that is it's interesting what you have going on here in the mining. We may get into that. Validator load. Are you ready to give out any type of qualifications when it comes to hardware? Or you because I know for validators, that's number one. You want to know if your rig qualifies as a good facilitator for validation. I know that's what I would want to know. I don't know if you're ready to do that while we're on validators, but as far as, because validator load, system load, that's a big thing. Most people have to go out and upgrade, before they can even participate. As far as those qualifications, because this is a pretty lightweight DApp. As far as being a validator, is it lightweight? Is it resource heavy? You don't have to go too far into it if you don't want to, because I know you're still testing.
No. So the 3 roles, and once again, it all comes to the 3 roles, and it depends which validator you want it to be. And I'll give you some ideas. So if you're becoming to be a keeper, which is a very heavy validator, and the keepers are gonna be super expensive to run. They're gonna be super complicated to run, because they will require difficult hardware. And the reason being, they obviously run the complicated mathematic calculation for Retium blockchain itself. So they're constantly building new blocks using mathematics, and they're becoming a storage facility for a Retium database itself. So in the future, they're really going to run on GPU PCs and or servers, whatever you want to call it, and they're also going to be supporting the AI nodes as well. So
that's another thing too.
So they're going to be probably the most difficult and most expensive the validator type we will have. So for normal people, it's going to be difficult to understand and jump ahead of it. But when it comes to suits and the workers, the suits are handling blockchains.
Yeah.
So the block itself. So you will need to have a good computer, the strong computer, or node or server, whatever you want to call it, they easy to run, same as the workers. For workers, you need literally just a general laptop, nothing really super heavy or anything like it. So any standard simple laptop will run your node from a ground up in a minutes. And so I can give you some ideas. So there will be some staking required. You would have to go and basically stake your RTM token to so-called the Pi one, and with the Pi, you would have to obviously link it to your wallet and start running a node. It's going to be quite cheap to run, especially if we're talking about launch prices or pre-sale prices. For Retium, just to give you some idea, just to become a worker, it's going to be somewhere around $100 just to start a node itself.
All right.
So
there's there's opportunities for pretty much anyone here, whether you want to go high end and be resource heavy, because I'm pretty sure the rewards are going to be, they're going to be tiered too as well. If you're running that heavy node, like you said, the top one, it's going to require a lot of resources. I'm pretty sure the rewards are going to, be pretty decent there. And I'm just, saying this. This is not coming from you. I'm just assuming. But there's a particular role for everybody. Like you said, you can do one for $100 with low resources and still contribute because of the way this is stacked up. It's pretty interesting.
And this is another thing you just mentioned about rewards. So with the Retium, what we've done is, because once again, validators is not competing to create a next block in the Retium blockchain. So they completely derailed from this idea of any or most of the blockchains you can see these days. So their job is to prove that transaction or block is mathematically correct in Retium. And this is their role. And because of that, we were able to create this system, which is, you don't have to compete for anything. So there is a validator pool, and you have an equal chance to do your job and being paid for being a validator equally. Pretty much you'll have a job all the time available for you. So this is a key difference for us. So basically running a validator and you're becoming an earning machine, just to help us to secure and grow network itself.
Yeah. That's the cool part about it. That's what I like about it. It's you're contributing, and it gives that computer a little bit more to do, because a lot of people's, computers are just sit and collect and dust. Maybe they're gaming. I like to work mine. I spend a lot of money on my bills. I upgrade a lot, and I want to heat it up every now and then. I've been, I was a miner early, a Bitcoin miner as well. So I love support networks. This particular situation is going to allow a lot of people. It's tiered. Right? It's not just a single client. It's not just a single role. It's tiered. So anybody can contribute here, whether they want to go heavy or they can go light and still be a contributor. So I think this is great, for the community, if they are trying to go this role, because a lot of people aren't going to validate. But for those who don't want to, for those who do want to, there's a lot of options here.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, just to have this, let's call it, not expensive validating solution. We're really trying to open the market for anyone, just even for the countries where $100 is better, because it's important for people to give them possibility to start really become a validator in mine. I don't know whether it's a passive income, but you still have to do the job. You have to be available for validate when you're being nominated to do the job itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it's a transaction execution or the block execution itself.
No, you're right. It's a pretty big deal. becoming a validator. It's not just plugging in and getting rewards. You're a significant part, of the backbone as a validator. So, and on the other podcasts, we'll go into depth on equipment, different specs and things of that nature. We'll get in depth into that later in another podcast because I want to move on. But I'm very interested as well with this, and I love how it's tiered. Now, walk us through the next 6 to 12 months, Alexia, from a listener's perspective. What milestones should we be basically waiting on, and how can we get involved as a community to actually help expedite this? Take us through the next 6 to 12 months, brother.
Yeah, the next 6 months is going to be very interesting for Retium because about a month now, maybe just slightly more, maybe about 6 weeks ago, we've engaged and we started applying for crypto license here in Australia. So right now we're on a process of getting this license filled in and basically waiting for response from authorities and the things like it. So this, how far the license is going to be come back to us is going to depend when are we going to be able to basically go to public testnet stage. And because right now the Retium is up and running and it's ready to be presented to wide public. But licensing part is holding us a little bit. So in the next 6 months or even 12 months, definitely we're looking for to get a crypto license here in Australia. We're getting to jump on a public testnet, and we're going to be opening a bounty, hunting for Retium for those who want to help us with the security breaches and vulnerability. And if there are any public members or contributors, the community members who want to come aboard and give us a hand, or contribute with everything they possibly can to bring and help us with, we're more than open because put it this way, we're a brand new blockchain. We're coming from nowhere. We're building everything from the ground up. We're delivering a new technology, and we needed help, just a general help to people to, share the thought about us, share what we do, explain to friends and colleagues what the Retium is all about.
No, absolutely.
But on the other hand, we definitely will need more early contributors to test our network itself, blockchain itself. We are definitely looking for early contributors from as a builders because we do need the devs on the chain as well. If there are devs who thinking to extend or build something on a blockchain, whatever type of application it can be, and they're looking for new blockchain or new opportunities, by all means, just reach out. Let's talk and see what you do and what you wanted to build and whether the Retium can be for you.
No, absolutely, man. So. Absolutely. Let's talk about the crypto convention last year. You did reach out. You did get some exposure there. How was that, man? Because this did happen. I believe it was November, right? 2025, I believe.
Yes.
How was that experience, man? Because you did get out there. Here's a little flyer for it. That was a pretty big event.
Yeah, it was probably one of the biggest events in Australia here in Sydney. It was great. It was our first appearance on the public. We did have probably the smallest space possible, but we did take it. Yeah. We had some people interested in us, obviously explaining people what it is, how it is. We found a few connections, a few great, friends who become our friends and obviously start following us and helping us with ideas, etc. Even the people who become, what's the word I'm looking for? Just give me a second.
No, you're good. You're good.
Jeez, I've got a brain freeze.
No, these type of conventions are great. Not only great for exposure. No, I do. I get that too all the time. And sometimes when I drink too much coffee, everything just rumbles together, just collides together. These conventions are pretty decent, bro. And this was a big deal. And getting this type of exposure, along with your how should I say, your competitors, because there was a few competitors there as well. Well, future potential competitors. That was pretty cool because they got to see you too as well. You know, if I'm a bull in this space, you know, I want to know what's coming. I want to know what's targeting me and what I need to do to keep the lead. And I think that's a good advantage for you as well. You got to go in there and you got to see how those big boys are interacting too as well. It was a learning experience. There was exposure that was achieved there as well. Yeah. And overall, just great experience, right?
I wanted to say consultant. We pick up some people who become a consultant, but they actually become an advisor. So this is a word I was looking for.
No, we got it.
We got it. And my brains are still freezing. Yeah, so I do apologize.
No, it's pretty early. We started this on your end in Australia. It's pretty early. No, I want to bring this up because again, this is a serious situation. You know, Glenn, you didn't just glue something together just to get some exposure and to get some fees here and just to kind of BS around this space. You're doing this for a reason. You're putting a lot of work into it. And this is where we're at. Now, we got to move to the token, to the coin. I'm sorry, this is not a token. This is a coin. Let's talk about tokenomics, brother, because, you know, this is a big topic too. When we're talking about new, age tech, new, interactions, new DApps, new validation, new opportunities for users and builders as well. Let's talk tokenomics, brother. RTM is going to be the actual native coin. This is not just a rank coin. This thing has a lot of responsibility. You want to get into it?
Yeah, I mean, the one of the main responsibility or the purpose for Retium coin, which is RTM, is so basically it's a fuel for ecosystem itself. So anything you do on a Retium blockchain, any gas or governments, it's being linked to RTM token directly. So this is a native blockchain use currency, if you wanted to. And it's definitely responsible for everything. And once again, when it comes to validators, I mean, this is a security for us to make sure the validators behaving properly. And if they don't, then we're definitely gonna, we have a slashing system in place. As much as we wanted to support validators and giving everybody a chance just to work and make money, we also have a system in place which is supervising and securing blockchain itself, and the bad actors will be slashing and they will be losing this security bond with us.
Yeah, so it's accountability there. Yeah, you like that because validators, the group is very important. And this consensus mechanism, this is your baby essentially. This is something that you created. You don't see this. I haven't seen this before. So the token itself, the coin, there's so many tokens in the space. The coin is pretty unique as well because it's representing something that's pretty fresh and new, so you're entering again a very crowded field and RTM is ready to go. And I can hear it in your voice. There's still, much to do. And obviously you're not rushing this to market, and I wouldn't do that as well. I know you're smart. You're a smart guy. I know you're not going to rush this out and it falls on his freaking face. And this is what I love about it. Me observing all this time, you're not rushing. You're building this. You're in your comfort zone. You're building it properly. And again, we love coins. And I'm just speaking as an investor because I'm twofold. I like validating as well, supporting network, but as an investor, because that makes up a ton of the space. We want something that we can put in our portfolios that actually has use case, that is dominant, has attributes too as well, not just a dead coin. This is obviously not a dead coin. It's got a lot of attributes. It's intrinsic. This is what a lot of investors like. Again, not financial advice, guys. We're just talking about coin, infrastructure, the actual archetype of a great coin. It has a lot of that here. And this is just my opinion, obviously, but what's your take on that?
Absolutely. I'm not sure if I wanted to touch much about investor part at this stage because um, these days, we, as I said, we are working with coming to licensing and
Yeah,
obtaining
absolutely. Yeah, be careful now.
it's legislations,
Yeah,
and we're probably going to be one of the first blockchain coming, on the market with licensing, which is
really interesting.
quite weird thing to say. How can you license DeFi entity itself? But with the current regulations, unfortunately or fortunately,
Yeah,
you have to, and yes, I mean,
this is very important.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm
But
glad you brought that up.
for people who are interesting, I mean, I don't really wanted to touch much about investment and to be early, but I wanted to come back to validators
Right.
and talk about this one because as we already spoke about and covered this part, as a validator, you would have to stake some RTM token.
Right. Right.
So in fact, we do have two tokens available for ecosystem. So the second one, so-called the Pi, and this is what is confirming your staking of RTM token. So as a validator, you would have to present this Pi token to become a validator. And if you're thinking to become one, if you're thinking to be a validator, so this is the right time probably for you to kind of keep an eye on the Retium because obviously you wanted to have it earlier access to coin itself so you can secure your role in the future. And this is something very important to keep an eye on, as I said. Yeah.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Interesting, very interesting. Yeah, that other token. So I would say that the additional token, that's just a ticket, right, for the validator. When you say a synthetic ticket, because it's not going to be publicly traded, right?
No,
Okay.
it's only represent that you have staked the RTM token.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
The way we've designed it is so you can actually it's collateral, so you can use it to anything really you want it. So you can loan it, you can shift it to one wallet to another. So it's so you can represent the Pi and use the Pi to do whatever you wanted to do. Like you can't spend it, but you can use it as a, I don't know, maybe even security just to borrow against it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
interesting. Yeah, that I just want to clarify that too, because a lot of people are like, oh, we got two tokens. Yeah. No, not so much.
No, it's not tradable. It's really a representation of the stake amount of RTM token.
Good deal. I want to clarify that. So let's get to mainnet, man, because I know you still have some work to do, but mainnet launches. Once this actually launches publicly, what kinds of applications are you going to be targeting? You have your standard, gaming, DeFi, RWAs, which is going to be big. I'm big on that. NFTs, they're coming back. What are you targeting for this ecosystem? And especially when it comes to the architecture that you're building, what are the natural advantages as well that these said, DApps and, projects are going to have too on Rentium?
Yes. So what we're targeting or what case use the Retium is good for is literally anything. You name it. Could be gaming, NFTs, finance, microtransactions, real world assets, etc. There is no really limit because Retium is really designed for the builders. You can build on us. You can launch anything you want. We're super scalable. We are super fast. We're very, I don't want to call it cheap because cheap just doesn't sound right, but we're very affordable. But our advantage is we're not just affordable, but we are predictable on the prices. The prices on a gas fees and the transactions fee on a Retium is predictable, and they're pretty much stable in a dollar value terms. So you're literally gonna be paying always exactly the same amount. So, but you will be paying different amount, depends on what sort of transactions or smart contract you're launching or deploying. We can talk about this one as well. But when it comes to adoption and everything, we can present Retium for is really any use case, gaming without structure, because it's literally fast and you can scale as many transactions or any executions pretty much any time. The Retium is open for fast transactions, cheap transactions if you wanted to. Once again, and the gaming is great. So because you can mint NFT as you're being in a game, the transactions is executing pretty much immediately. So your asset in a gaming, for example, is going to be, pretty much immediately confirmed. Microtransactions as well, so you can send $1 fee to someone from wallet to wallet for literally 1 cent of transaction fee, which is a great. So you can send it anywhere in the world for literally a penny.
That's a good point right
real
there.
world, so anything. And I hardly can find what you can't use Retium for. When people asking me this question.
So you're payment ready, cross-border payments, infrastructure, you could facilitate that, because that's going to be big, facilitation of RWAs. I would love to see how a particular RWA marketplace would function too on this, within this particular bill. That'd be pretty nice.
Michael, one of the most important and one of the key point I wanted to add to it is the privacy.
Absolutely.
Privacy on the blockchain is a very important topic, and I wanted to stress on it because Retium is designed for privacy protocols.
Yeah, let's get into that.
I don't want to. Yes, so literally, for example, I'll give you a few examples. So as of today, if you're running a company and if you have the staff which you're paying a salary to, you can't really use unprepared blockchain to do salaries. The reason being because blockchain is too transparent. You will be releasing all this private information, how much each employee been paid for. So. This is one of the examples which on the Retium through the smart contract, you can easily do this and pay your employees salaries, avoiding this PAYE contract without people seeing what exactly being paid to whom. Yeah. As a dev, you will be responsible how you structure contract and how you're managing it as well. The same idea for the banks. I mean, the banks can't jump on a blockchain, make a smart contract and, just release all the public, for the public, every account visible, how much money everybody holding and how much who been paid what for and etc. Because everything is transparent and you can see every transaction on a blockchain. Yeah. When it comes to Retium, you can do these sort of applications and avoiding. I mean, obviously, you have to comply with the law and make sure that you're responsible and reliable to authorities. Yeah. But this is all possible and pretty much ready to go.
Absolutely. And privacy, especially when it comes to this RWA atmosphere that we're leading to, tokenized assets, that's a big thing. Privacy, security, and speed as well. Not so much, severe speed, but just, manageable, decent speed when it comes to transactions. You have this, obviously. And you're not going to need crutches. And what I mean by that is L2 crutches. Let's talk about that because the L2 talk is out there. You have a lot of L2s out there. This particular bill, and the way it's constructed, you're not going to need any crutches when it comes to scaling. Do I have that correct?
Absolutely, yes. And this is what everybody needs to understand. Retium is a layer 1 blockchain, and we pretty much delivering the speed and affordability of layer 2 blockchain. So we're super fast, we're super scalable, we're super cheap, and on top of it, And this is very important to understand. So the way the Retium is designed, the finality of any transactions, we call it immediately, but it's literally happening in milliseconds, and it's a finality of the transactions. So it's a confirmed hard finality. So it's not for future to be handled and validated by the quorum. It's a hard finality happening instantly as transactions being entering the Retium blockchain. This is a very key difference. So this is where I've been asked many questions to, but that blockchain is doing it already. It's a fast, and you can execute the transactions, etc., etc., etc. And yes, and especially when it comes to conversation about layer 2 blockchains, we all understand and see they're fast, they're very cheap as well.
Right.
But the question I'm always asking, what do you mean by fast? Is it something that, because I'm looking on a layer 1 or layer 2 blockchains as optioned as IOU, because everything that's happening on a layer 1 blockchains is being executed later on a layer 1 blockchain. So if the layer 1 blockchain is not executed, this batch, then what will happen? So if the layer 1 blockchain where your layer 2 blockchain is running onto is failed to perform, what will happen? Because you are dependent. So basically you're a booker who's taking, the keeping the records of the transactions, but you have to execute on a layer 1 blockchain still.
Right.
So this is my point of view on it, and we've tried once again just to overcome it, and came with a different idea to become fast finality or instant finality, if you wanted to, happening on a layer 1 blockchain. Once it's happened, it can't be unhappened. So this is the key point with us.
No, absolutely, because that's we're so used to that. If you can do it with one, that's great. And as far as public testing and getting this thing out there, I know that I don't want to put any timetables on this, but we all know that everybody faces growing pains, especially when you're deploying anything new, right? What have you been actually confronted with at this point in time? Because you're getting pretty close to releasing this thing, or at least going to public testnet. What are the actual growing pains that you're actually confronting right now, and are they significant, or is this kind of like just normal stuff that you expected that you're actually solving and getting over? Let's talk about that.
So before full public testnet, the main stopper for us is the security. So you probably have seen our last just recent post. I think we've done it yesterday. We just recently had a first security audit, and there are a few things to attend, a few things to check, correct, and then the fix. Some are very valid points. Some are points which is we still trying to handle, and we can't really fix them because we're still on a private testnet. So we would need to change a few things and move along. Just more sort of move the validators, etc., on a production side, so we can handle it. But the good thing is, the security audit was done. It's come back to us with a list of things to do, and before we can release it to the public and invite everybody just to jump in, we have to attend those things around. The other thing, or the other point which is holding us is really the legal side and the licensing. We have to wait a little bit longer before we can move up, but it's kind of a very aligning perfectly with a security check and the work we need to do right now. So we probably have maybe a month or two just to prepare things around and the go ahead with releasing it to public. But overall, I mean, the performance validators, apps, CDKs for developers, everything is here, everything is up and running. And Yeah, I mean, you've been in our Telegram group. I mean, you've seen
Right.
some videos, screenshots, the
Yeah.
things like it.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me personally, probably the point is I'd rather have things done and be ready for people to try than to make an empty promise and say people, okay, we're building this, jump to our blockchain, it's going to be great, but there is nothing behind. For me, it's better
Yeah. Empty
for
suit. Yeah.
when the people are ready to come and have a look and play with this. I can say this is something you can touch and be, try it before you jump aboard for us.
No, I like it. And again, the licensing, pretty interesting, very important as well. You're not rushing. And that's the good thing about it. Looking forward, let's get into this because I want to look forward 2-3 years. What's your ideal look for this ecosystem? Let's project out 2-3 years. What does it look like? What do you want it to look like?
Well, obviously we're planning for in the next couple of years, like 2 to 3 years. I mean, 4 years, 5 years. We're definitely looking to grow Retium ecosystem itself. We're looking to grow it and to become stable with enough validators securing and backing up the Retium blockchain itself. We're trying to provide, or we have built a system which is gonna be more reliable. It's gonna be ready for bigger adoption, to stay on a blockchain industry, to handle any traffic or transactions volume without breaking the idea of transactional fees and workflow on a blockchain itself.
Yeah.
So the chain will be secure, stable, and ready to accommodate and handle a future load of when the people are going to be coming on a blockchains itself.
Yeah.
Because once again, as of today, we all know the blockchain use is being only under 7% of population. And if we wanted to grow this market, if we want to grow this technology, we need to think that in the future, we need to bring and give all these other people something reliable. And this is where the Retium is going to be coming from. It's going to be reliable, stable blockchain that can accommodate and handle any traffic possible.
Yeah. That's the goal. That's the goal. You want to be stable. You want to have that security as well. And you want the user, action. You want it to go unabated. You want it to be smooth. And we brought up speed earlier. A lot of people are speed junkies. A lot of people are security junkies. I'm kind of in the middle. I want stability, obviously security, especially because I'm big on DeFi. And I want enough speed to where I can get in and out. When you say that would be kind of like where most people are, right? You have your extremes on different sides of the spectrum, but I'm in the middle. I want stability, number one, and I want it to, when I go on and log on, hopefully it'll be there. Especially when I really need to get into a D app, when I really need to pull compound or whatever you're gonna do, game or whatever, and then obviously security. So, and I think this is where you're headed. So, and I agree with you a lot. Last question, man. What do you want everybody to take from this particular interview when it comes to Rentium, your initiatives, and when it comes to what you're bringing to this very crowded L1 stage? There's obviously major differentials. What do you want them to take from this in conclusion?
Well, I guess the one of the most important say I wanted to finish today is it's probably not every day when you're having a new blockchain is being developed, and especially if it's a layer one blockchain being developed. And especially if this blockchain is being developed from a ground up technology, which is not copying anything, not everyone, and building something very new, something unique, and have a very good promising of being a reliable future blockchain to accommodate the market, accommodate the transactions, people, and the developer side as well.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to, first of all, thank everybody who's going to listen to this video, who's listening it right now. And I want to say just make sure that you're tuning up and you're following us. And
absolutely
becoming a part of our journey and see how we develop and starting. Because once we do, I mean, there's going to be very something interesting to look at.
I agree. No, I absolutely agree. I like this graphic of the Retium coin too, as well. By the way, I wanted to tell you that. It's really nice, really nice. I enjoy new products.
I must say we've got a great team working on the Retium as well. Designer team and developers and the marketing team as well, which is coming along. So yes, I appreciate it.
No, you do, man, and it will drop by here. This is going to be the Retium X page, just in case you guys. Well, it is an X page, guys, and it is. You have the gold seal. You're very serious because that's not cheap, right? That gold seal is not cheap. So you're very serious. Retium.org is the actual website. Very beautiful website, and you have TG as well. I'm going to put all this in the comment section. I'm going to pin all this information once this gets processed, and then YouTube does its thing, and it gets released for replay. I'm gonna make sure all of and a lot of this is in the descriptions too as well. I believe you have docs. You have a really, really good, nice white paper as well. Alexio, love that.
Yes. About this, if I may, just still few more seconds. Of
Absolutely.
Yours. We definitely have. If you jump on a website, you can jump on public papers and the white papers and the early developers papers. There is not really many information in there yet, but there are quite a few reads to go through just to understand the Retium architecture and how it works, etc. But in the next couple of weeks time, we right now we're working on a release of in the pages for the website, which is going to be explaining or giving more understanding and more information about every topic of website itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the people will finally be able to understand more and more about Retium.
And you have a link up here too, I noticed, for SDKs and the APIs too as well, which is pretty interesting too as well.
It will be, It's
not live, but
that link, but that's a whole idea. So you come to one place, you just click a few buttons, and you fully submerged in the blockchain.
Right.
Whether you're validator, whether you're just a general, user, you'll be able to jump in and understand that from a few clicks.
Education, brother. You have to educate too.
Education. Yes.
I think that's big. You don't see a lot of that. Only know of a few. You have Frame. They have this particular section of their ecosystem that's good for education. I just don't see enough of that. And I love the fact that you're kind of along the lines of that too. You got to educate the users, man. People need to understand this. I think because that transcends, they'll tell their friends. Word of mouth is still one of the biggest ways to grab exposure, that old school word of mouth. And if you can provide education on your platform, and not just FAQs, real education, simplicity within that too, that educational block, I think that's where it's at, bro. So, I want to hand clap you, man. This is great.
Thank you.
I've been observing. I remember when you first told me about this, man, you're moving. It's happening. So, I'm very proud of you, and we're going to continue this. We're going to do some follow-ups as well. Definitely going to continue the podcast too, because I want to talk about post, public, testnet, how that's going, get some updates and stuff like that. Is there anything else you want to get into? I know we're talking about, we got the Twitter, all that is already in the description, guys. So anything else? Did we miss anything before we get out of here?
Not really sure. I mean, I think we've covered a lot about Retium today, and I mean, right now that's probably a lot of what we should have talked. We probably even talked more than we should. But
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, there's still some more, but I kind of skipped a lot because a lot of some pretty techy stuff that I didn't want to lose anybody. Yeah, man. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. We got a lot out though.
No. I mean, that's pretty much it. The people always asking who I am, who the team is, and once again, being on working on the legal side on the licensing, we haven't really drop much update on website with the team, etc., because with the licensing we have to just comply and make legal side of it the proper way. So, but otherwise, no, thank you very much for having me, and it's been a great chat, and I hope we can do it later on as well, just to do some updates on the Retium as we go.
No, absolutely. We're definitely going to continue this. This is episode 1, so looking forward for the other ones, and then definitely when everything gets going, I'm gonna love interacting too as well, and maybe I'll dabble a little bit in the validator stack. I don't know where I'm gonna go with it. I think I may have to build a dedicated machine because I want to go heavy. So I'm looking forward to you sharing me some parameters and some resource limitation. What I need to do. Do I need to go with a super duper CPU? I'm gonna get with you on that a little later.
When it comes to validators, I would really encourage everyone just to stick with keepers and the Zeus, which is a light machines, because you're gonna make much more money on it. As a keeper, it's a heavy machinery, and it's not as much.
Right, you gotta need a server, huh?
Earning as you can make with a simple worker running on $100 machine,
and still make a decent reward. See, that's what I love about this, man. There's options.
Well, the work is basically, once again, in a few days or in a week time, we will update information on website, and we will release how much worker and the suit, pretty much how the Tokenomics works. How the validators amount is being spread through the validators, but the worker is the one who makes the most from each transaction.
Nice.
So something to think about.
No, becoming an early I didn't mean to step on you, but becoming an early validator is something that's extravagant. That excites me. Right. So, and then you have different ways of entering, you have different, payment tiers when it comes to what you're going to fork over for your rig, like you're saying, this lower tier. Yeah, it's no problem. Most people probably have these rigs already, they're gaming on them right now, right? They're doing regular work. They can just plug them in. But this is very interesting, and we're definitely going to, we're always going to keep in touch. But episode 1, looking forward for episode 2, and another hand clap for Retium, man. I like what you're doing, brother. I think that'll do it. Yeah, man, absolutely. And until next time, everybody, be careful. We didn't get into the market because it's pretty, it is what it is. So this is all about Retium. And I hope you guys enjoy the playback as well. And we'll do it next time. Alexia, you have a good one, brother. We'll catch you later.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.